Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. But before we begin, I just want to say today is our 400th episode. 400. Some people say shows, some people say episodes. We made it. All I got to say is one thing. We did 400, so let's go do another 400. That's what we want to say, okay? And we want to thank everybody who supported us all these years to get where we're at. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Roll it, Tony. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Pamela Najera, and I wrote
my
own one-woman show called Too Old, Too Asian, Too Short, a story of an unlikely showgirl. And it is a story about my journey of how I transitioned from being a medical assistant into a professional dancer, assisting world-renowned magicians and traveling the world with them, and ultimately performing on a cruise ship for...
Ladies and gentlemen, today is a celebration of Asian Heritage Month. And here to talk about it is a lady who has been a lot of things in her life. She'll tell you about it in just a few moments. Please welcome the event producer for a play that she's doing, a one-day play, Pamela Najera. Greetings, Pamela, and welcome to The Actor's Choice.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Tell us where you was born at.
Manila, Philippines.
I've been there, done it. I've done it. I was in the Navy and had a chance to go overseas to the Philippines and had marvelous times over there. I walked out there saying good things, good food, beautiful women, what nice guys. What else could you have? Wonderful country. And by the way, I'll just say this real quick. A lot of people don't know this. The second largest quantity of Filipinos, you know where they're at?
Here?
Right here in California, around San Diego and in LA. The second largest in the world.
I bet.
Good food. Good food. Woo.
We breed our nurses.
Yes, ma'am. We sure do. Pamela, you have quite a story to tell. I mean, we don't have the time, but you have quite a story. Tell us about what it was like for you in the beginning.
So I was a medical assistant for a private office of dermatologists for about 13 years in Encino, and then over at Pasadena. We focused on skin cancer surgery, and then I turned into a professional dancer.
Okay.
So that was kind of like good to go from left to right on such a drastic move. That was quite a journey. I talk about it in my one-woman show called Too Old, Too Asian, Too Short, story of an unlikely showgirl.
Wow. Interesting. What inspired you to, now you got a fundraiser coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
What's the name of that?
So it's actually going to be in May. It's the Asian Heritage Month. And so it's called We're Not Your Cup of Tea. And it's a collection of artists. There we are.
Yeah.
There's actually a fifth one that joined us. Her name is Cindy Fujikawa. And it's not just 5 storytellers. We also have esteemed speakers. We've got Nitya Raman, the council member, coming to join us, and Dean Nakanishi of ADAP Inc., which is a nonprofit organization that we joined arms with, and also Giovanni Espiritu, who's a filmmaker and actress as well. And dancers. Can't forget the dancers. We've got an Eastern Indian dancer who's doing a traditional Indian dance with a little modern twist to it, and then also Flying Curves that's joining us.
Okay. What inspired you to produce this fundraiser event?
The theaters in LA are still recovering from the pandemic. Yeah, that pesky little thing. And so, everything shut down. Like the live theater, nobody was going to live theater. Actors weren't able to go to their workshops. And um, when we were invited by Theater West to showcase, and put the spotlight on the heritage, it was a prime opportunity to do this. So yes.
Okay. Can you tell us about the cause or organization that this fundraiser is supporting?
So ADAP it stands for Asian American Drug Abuse Program. It's actually multicultural. It's not for just Asians, but a group of Asian Americans started it because back in the 70s, right out of the Vietnam War, when the soldiers were addicted to opioids. And actually, that was the craze of the century, I suppose, opioid addiction. And they are existing to change lives and save families impacted by substance abuse.
Okay.
Which is pretty rampant right now. I mean, it's just so easy with the dispensaries coming around. It's easy to hide those things in schools and,
Yes.
yep. So
Yeah.
it's microdosing and all those things. It's just becoming so normal.
Okay. So
that
you're
it's
the producer,
easy.
right? You're the producer?
Yes.
And you
Yes.
came up with the concept of the fundraiser. That was you?
It was a collaboration. I actually have 3 other co-producers working this with me because it's huge. It's not just 5 storytellers and 3 speakers and, also 2 dance groups. Yes, I've got Meg and Marcel and Evie. They're all doing different parts to help make this huge machine work smoothly because it started off as just Meg and I telling our stories, sell the tickets, call it a day. No, now we joined arms with ADAP, and it's very inspiring for all of us to do this together. That it was because nobody's getting paid for this. None of the artists, none of the speakers, and all the money that we're making is going towards Theater West, and proceeds will go to ADAP as well.
Super. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please understand this is an event happening on Saturday, May 11th at 8 p.m. Is that correct, madam?
Yes, sir. Yes. And we're also having a raffle drawing throughout the event and free, food and ethnic, cultural food, of course.
Of course.
You might have to come. You might have to come, Ron. You might have to come. We'll feed you.
Okay. All right. We can talk about that for sure. Admissions is $40. I understand for reservations, 323-851-4839. Again,
That's
323-851-4839.
Thank you.
Call that
Thanks
number, and this young lady here might be answering the phone. You just never stand. Oh, gosh. Do it, Pamela.
Yes.
You're doing it. What can attendees expect from the event?
Storytelling, dance, inspiring speeches, raffle prizes, just a lot of fun. Our storytelling, is it's inspiring, it's relatable. The reason why it's called We're Not Your Cup of Tea is because we're not your typical stereotype of Asians, which tend to be, whether it be timid, shy, highly scholastic, and, we're just a bunch of, rule breakers.
I was going to ask you about that. Thank you. Thank you very much. My goodness. Any specific performances are going to be held as planned?
I think it's pretty edgy. One of our performers, they're all going to be great. It's fantastic on how I think that this event picked us because we did have an original lineup, and for, scheduling issues,
Yes.
they couldn't make it. But I'm particularly excited about Flying Curves being there because they're edgy. It's basically a cabaret
Okay.
show. And the CEO, Christina Villegas, is, she brings women out of their shell to embrace who they are and everything about themselves through pole dancing. And so, there used to be a stigma against that, and now it's an actual Olympic sport.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there's going to be a pole on stage, y'all.
Gotcha. Besides, how many famous people are going to be? We can expect to be there.
How many famous people can we? Oh my gosh. We've got the council member that's going to be there, Council Member Nitya Raman.
Okay.
And then there's Giovanni Espiritu. She's been in the circuit. She's going to be speaking. She's also an advocate for domestic violence, as well as a filmmaker and an actress.
You got some good people coming out.
We do. And all on their good graces, just to help support a good cause.
Right.
Very grateful. Very grateful.
Everyone that's hearing this, please pass it on to your friends because you want to fill this up. This money is coming for a good reason. Definitely. What do you think sets this fundraiser apart from others in terms of entertainment value or impact?
Because there's so many people that is coming together. There's basically 5 performances and 3 speakers, and it's just going to be an evening of inspiration. Oh, we also do have a new addition. So there's this lovely Girl Scout named Renee. She made it her mission to help her little sister that was diagnosed with leukemia. She's now out of it. She was diagnosed at 8 years old. She's now 14, Simone, and she's doing very well. But what happened is that Simone is half Filipino, half Vietnamese. And did you know, Ron, that when you're finding a donor, they also have to be Asian? So you can't necessarily have Caucasian blood help Asian when it comes to a blood disease like leukemia.
Right. Blood is blood.
I did not know this. So in the registry, there's a very, very low number. 49% chance for Caucasians, just to measure, to give you a measurement, they have an 80% chance of finding a donor. But for Asians, the registry is very low. So they will be there to swab people's mouths, if they will, to fill up the registry. They're not obligated to donate, but to give somebody a chance, a second chance at life would be just so lovely. So not only are you going to be entertained, but you also get to, help give somebody a second chance at life. It's quite awesome.
Got you. That was my next question. How have you been engaging with the community to promote the fundraiser itself? You just said that. Thank you.
Yes.
Say it again. Yes. Say it again.
Yes. And you know what? I got to say, we've also been using a PR person, an influencer.
Oh,
this is
who's that?
Times.
Who is that?
Her name is Jana Elizabeth.
Hi, Miss Elizabeth. Keep on doing what you're doing. Get us out there. Yes.
Yeah. Get the word out. Get the word out.
Get the word out. Okay. Again, once more, Saturday, May 11th at 8 p.m. Admissions $40. Reservations 323-851-4839. Okay. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Online ticketing and donations, www.theaterwest.org. Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, it's at Theater West. Thank you, Tony. Theater West 3333 Cahuenga Boulevard West, Los Angeles 90068. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Speaker. How do you see the intersection between art and philanthropy in events like this?
How do in events? Let's see. The recovering Okay, so ADAP had come to one of our shows.
Okay.
And it was called Walking in Space. And this is a story, it's by Gary Kluger. And it was his story about his mom being addicted to opioids back in the 70s. Boy, those opioids were a pest.
Yes.
And so the ADAP clients, recovering clients, came to watch the show, and they had never seen a live show. And to see their stories up on stage, they were just blown away because they didn't feel alone. Like it was a thing that even psychologists came as well. That is of service to ADAP, and it was just so real, obviously, because it was a true story. And stories like these they help people work through issues. When they're watching the actors on stage and they're telling the truth about experiences, real life experiences, it's relatable. It's more relatable than, Netflix, although Netflix is getting really realistic these days.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Yes.
Pamela, one more time, just want to thank you for being here in this Asian Heritage Month. What a way to have a great time and raise some money. What a way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
The big event will be on Saturday, May 11th at the Theater West, 3333 Cahuenga Boulevard West, Los Angeles, 90068. For reservations, once again, call 323-851-4839. Again, 323-851-4839. And Pamela, I want to thank one of my friends that's working on this project. His name is Philip Sokolov. He's also a publisher. Yeah. We got some good people working with it. My dear, have a good time, raise some money, and come back again, please, would you?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Please let me know if you're going to attend.
Okay. Okay. I'll check my calendar real quick. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, right. Pamela Najera. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony.
Okay, we're good.
Pepsi commercial, scene 1, take 1.
My name is Dana Wiggs. Do you understand?
Hello. Don't know why I can't hear you.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is excited to return to the International City Theater in Long Beach, California. Now, she previously starred at the ICT in a play called The Andrews Brothers. But this time, she's here to play the role of Heidi Schreck in Schreck's autobiographical play called What the Constitution Needs Today. Oh, that sounds like a lot of good stuff there, ladies and gentlemen. So, without further ado, please welcome actress Kelley Dorney. Greetings, Kelley. Sitting in a car, and welcome to the Actors Choice. That's beautiful. See, look what she's doing. She's sitting in her car. She just came from a practice, right? That you were doing.
I work for a company called Imagination Machine, and so I was at an elementary school in Huntington Beach performing stories that the kids had written, so they get a chance to see their stories come to life.
Well, she did make it here, and I'm glad to see that she was able to make it. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. But ladies and gentlemen, if you ever come to our show, we get people on telephones, Zoom, we get you in your car, we get you in planes. We just get you. That's the name of the game. We have fun just getting them and having them on our show. And please pass to your friends that we have a show. Love to have them on the show. Okay.
I will.
Okay. Now, what made you first? Oh, let me back up. Where were you born?
I was born in Dallas, Texas. I was born and raised in Plano, Texas, which is a little north of Dallas.
Oh, okay. I have a daughter that lives in that area.
Oh, really? Okay. Where?
So in that area, it's called Dallas. It's called Dallas. Yeah.
Yes.
He lives there in that area. But now let's get to the real stuff. What made you get into acting?
Oh gosh. I would like to be able to point to one specific thing, but I was a very loud child. I always liked to sing, and I think I just really enjoyed the performance of putting on a show. You would get together with your friends at a sleepover and put on a skit, and you'd run down and you'd tell your parents, we've got a skit, we've got like a show for you. And I also loved making people laugh. And so that definitely factored into this desire and this need to perform and tell stories and connect with an audience. It all just kind of built from there, and I was just loud, so it was a good place to be loud.
Now you're quite a lady. I'm gonna say this. I said it to her before, and I'm gonna say it again. This little lady, 5 feet 2.5 inches, red hair and green eyes. Now that's what you call a girl by herself. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, lady. Looking good. Looking GOOD. Okay.
I'm about as Irish as they get. About as
Hey,
Irish.
that's it. That's it. Beautiful. Looking good. Okay. Training. Talk about for a moment, because it's very, very important to actors. They don't understand this. What is the training that you have to do?
Well, I was lucky enough to have a very good theater department at my high school, and so I did shows in high school. I also competed in something called competitive speech tournaments in Texas, and I would perform humorous interpretations, dramatic interpretations, duets of plays. And then I went to Emerson College in Boston and got my Bachelor of Fine Arts in musical theater.
Excellent. Excellent.
That's my training. And I started taking voice lessons when I was in the 6th grade. So that was very important.
Now, you were in New York City for a while, I understand.
Mm-hmm. Off
the
and
Big
on
Apple?
The Big Apple. I mean, I was technically in New Jersey, but I could see the city skyline from my apartment. So I was 15 minutes from Times Square, no traffic. With traffic, 2 hours.
Well, you can stop and get a hot dog. Remember, you can get a hot dog?
Exactly. I was there off and on from 2006 to 2014, and then I moved to Los Angeles in 2014.
Oh,
so
that was fun.
It was fun. I'm a little biased towards Los Angeles. That's where I've found my group, my community, and it's also I'm in my car, and I actually enjoy being in my car. So I like it. It reminds me of Texas in the sense that you've got your own like personal bubble in your car. You drive everywhere.
Right.
So, bit of home.
By the way, I was just thought about my daughter's in Mesquite.
Mesquite. Mesquite. Yes, of course.
I had to think about it. It was sitting in back there. And I just popped myself in the back. It comes on out. Yeah, she's in Mesquite down there in Dallas. That's nice place to be. When you go and look at your record, Kelley, ladies and gentlemen, this lady has got a lot of stuff, a lot of stage work. I lost count after 30. Okay, she does a lot of that stuff.
Yes, I do.
You know, and I'll tell you this: we just met, you and I, but I always say this on the show. I'm trying to get a point across. We get a lot of people who come here to LA. They want to be a star. Nothing wrong with that. I love it. Go for it. Star. Yeah. But they'll do television. Mm-hmm. They'll do film. Mm-hmm. But they will not get up on that stage. What's going on?
You know, I think there's a certain element to theater that obviously stage, film doesn't have. It is of the moment. What happens on the stage is like it's a flash in the pan. It's one moment there and it's gone, and you will never have another experience like that. You can run a show for 3 years and each night is a little bit different. And I think that's what's so lovely about it, because the performances are different. You feed off of who you're performing with. The audience is different depending on how they're reacting to the show. It feeds your performance and how you tell the story. So there's something kind of wonderful and lovely, but also you're on that stage and you don't leave. So you don't get a do-over. You don't get to do multiple takes. Like the show starts and the show, you know, it's on a train. It goes all the way to the end. You can't cut. So it's a very different kind of muscle.
Yes.
Anyway.
I was trying to get people just, I don't know what it is. They don't want to get up on that stage.
And the money is not as good as film. If they can get into film, they'll make a lot more money. But there is something about the love of theater that is very special.
The love when you talk about Shakespeare and other things of that nature. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I see some people, you know them, they're fanatical Shakespeareans. They love it. They love it. They love it.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? 8 different styles of acting. They get into that.
Oh yeah, there's and even out here, Meisner is very big. I almost went to NYU to do the Meisner extension there, but I really wanted to do musical theater. There's Stella Adler, there's Stanislavski, there's loads. I mean, there's no one right way to act. You just have to be truthful.
Have to be true. Yes, ma'am. Okay, you came here today, like I said, she's excited. I love to use that word. You came here to do a play called What the Constitution Means to Me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, your timing is just awesome.
Well, yeah, that is Karen at ICT. After she saw it in 2019 on Broadway, she had been waiting to get the rights for this show. And it finally became available, and she could not have, set to direct it and produce it at a better time. It's definitely a story that needs to be told now and often. I think it's like one of the most produced shows right now in the United States.
Okay, can you give us a brief synopsis of the play?
Of course. So Heidi Schreck, who wrote it, it's a little. About her life. So when she was 15 years old, she would travel the country giving speeches about the Constitution at American Legion halls to win prize money to pay for college. So she decided to recreate the speech based on what she remembers about herself at 15. And so you get half of the show as this recreation of this competition. You learn a lot about the Constitution in very fun and entertaining ways. It's a very funny play. And then it also then ties into her personal life, because one of the elements of the contest is to find a personal connection between your own life and the document. And she has a personal story that involves physical and sexual violence towards women. And so she ties that into whether or not this Constitution is still working or has ever worked for women, and not just women, but communities that are underrepresented and face discrimination across the board. So it's a very moving and relevant piece, and Heidi tells this story beautifully through humor, through her own personal stories, and also with incredible information. Like I also love how much a person will learn from seeing this show.
Okay. Now what role are you playing again?
I play Heidi. I play the main lady.
There you are.
Trying to remember my lines.
Outstanding. How did you feel when you got called for this role?
I was so honored, so honored to tell this story and to be trusted with this piece. It's a beast of a piece, a beast of a story, and I definitely wanted to make sure that I was doing it justice. So I was very honored that they thought of me.
Okay. Stage location.
Stage location, Long Beach. It's in the Beverly O'Neill Theater and in the convention center there. And it's a really beautiful space. It's such a beautiful space.
Right. And who is the director and does all the other work in there? It has small
Karen
letters.
Desai. Karen is the best. Karen
Give her my best, please. Tell us
I will. She is a phenomenal woman.
Yes.
I hope that I can be just like her from here on out.
Wow.
And so she's really, really, she thinks it's very important, obviously, that we tell this story and that we tell it now. And that it creates a dialogue between our audience members and anybody else in their lives. It's actually, you get a little bit of audience participation at the end of the show. We have a debate where a teenager comes and we debate whether or not we should abolish the Constitution, and the audience gets to vote.
Wow.
So it's a nice a play that you get to think about even after you leave the theater, which I think is what is so beautiful about arts and theater, is it makes you think. It creates dialogue. It creates discussions, and now is a time that we need to have those.
Okay. What's your run? May 3rd through?
Yep, we have previews May 1st and 2nd, so you can come on those days too. That's a Wednesday and a Thursday. And then we open Friday the 3rd, and we run until May 19th. Shows are Thursday through Saturday evening at 7:30, and then we have Sunday matinees at 2.
No Thursday, Friday?
Just Thursday, Friday at 7:30.
Gotcha.
Sorry, Thursday through Saturday.
Okay. And one of my favorite questions, what is it about this play that it really, really, really excites you the most?
I think the thing that excites me the most is the actual story, the actual dialogue that I get with the audience, and just how important these things are to talk about right now. And I'm excited to challenge myself. This is a very big piece for me. I talk a lot. If you don't like hearing my voice right now, I hope that's not true. But if you don't, this might not be the show for you, because I talk for a very long time. Fortunately, the words are provided for me. And they're incredibly beautiful words. So I'm excited to tell this story. That's why I do what I do. I love telling stories. And this is a story that could not be more important to tell.
Wow. Okay. Well, as today, you'll know that this is our 400th episode today.
Congratulations. That's incredible. To do anything 400 times.
Now we got to go do another 400.
Okay, well, you got the first 400 out of the way.
Got the first 400 out of the way.
Easy.
Nice. Kelley, what a lady you are. I want to thank you. Very glad to work with you. Keep on doing what you're doing, lady. Here's what I say to actors. And next to you, and that is break a leg. Break a leg, by all means, okay?
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And thank your publicist, my dear friend, Lucy Pollock.
I will, absolutely.
No, long time. Okay.
Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you, Ron.
And gentlemen, Kelley Dorney. Take care now.
Bye.
This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Roll it, Tony.
Is there a heart? I think you guys have what it takes to go all the way to the top. Got to have love.
A new film by Robert Townsend with a lot of music.
Some people run at the first sight of
and a big heart. The 5 Heartbeats.
I want you on my label. Let's make a deal right now. We're gonna go and record our first.
Ladies and gentlemen, today, my last guest today is well known in this business. I mean, he started out in 1968, opened the doors for many blacks in film and television production. He's now producing independent programs as producers and directors. Please welcome Kokayi Ampah. Okay, greetings, Kokayi, and welcome to the Actor's Choice.
Hey, Ron, it's great to be with you, especially on this
always
momentous occasion, 400 episodes.
Wow.
I'm honored.
Yes, indeed. Well, listen, you've been out there doing it. I just have to learn from you. That's all it is, my brother. You started in this business long before me. But over the years, I've learned from people like, what we just showed, that first thing that we just showed, that was the five heartbeats. That was your first, what is it? That was your first associate director that you did in 1991.
That's the first one I got that credit for. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Came out of one thing over there and moved on in here. That was the show.
Exactly. That's how it works. That's how it works.
Isn't that interesting? That's how it works. Yes. You've done a lot over the years, and that's putting it mildly. Now you're doing other things. Do you miss the old job?
Truthfully, no. I came here to produce and direct, not really to direct, but to produce. And after 35 years of doing locations, I really wanted, and working on some very good films. I've been blessed. I've worked on some very good projects, but I worked on some other ones that I wondered how in the world did they get the money for that, and then just having a community background and wanting to say certain things and have certain things said. I wanted to get those things out. So that's what I'm doing now. And so, and the body isn't and for that running around and all that stuff that other job took. So, it all works out.
Wow. I like to say that there were years when you didn't watch them. Now they're watching you.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's the way that goes. People don't understand a lot of things about getting a job and what it is in this. It's out there. You need to know it as you move along. I see a lot of you seeing too young people coming into the industry. You say where they come from. They're expecting, give me this, give me that. Whoa, whoa, whoa! It don't work like that. Slow down.
Yeah, a lot of them start at the top, because they think they see, they'll see somebody like a Denzel or. If you're looking at the actor side or some of the producers, and they look at some of the producers and directors that they see, and a lot of them are formally trained. And they just don't realize that, what that, Ryan Coogler, you see what his background is, you see what a lot of the other ones, you look at the Debbie Allens, you look at what they did and what they're doing. And then you look at their resume and you'll see a Juilliard or you'll see a certain film school or whatever. Now, there's those who come up out of the ranks, and every now and then somebody is a so-called overnight sensation, but there's really not overnight. There's some years that they put in doing whatever it is they do.
Where were you born at?
St. Paul, Minnesota. St. Paul, Minnesota.
Got you. St. Paul, Minnesota. Okay. All right. When you go back to those, you go back every now and then?
Well, I just produced a film about that growing up in St. Paul.
Tell me more.
A Tale of Two Inner Cities, Part 1. And I worked where I started in television in 1968 at a PBS affiliate, KTCA. And then I worked with a man who was the nephew of Gordon Parks. And then Gordon would allow him and I to come and watch him make films, and just we could just be there and study. And this is that mentorship thing. And so we went to the set of the second Shaft movie in '72 in New York, and then we went to Austin, Texas, where he was doing Lead Belly, starring Roger E. Mosley and Art Evans in that. And so he would just let us, and we could talk to anybody on the set and ask them what they did, and they would take us under their wing because, we were the guest of the director. And, but through Gordon, I got a taste of Hollywood and then eventually moved here, and the rest is history.
What kind of films do you like to make?
Films that speak to subjects that I'm concerned about. I made one film called Who Are They? Which was about the homeless. I had recently, one of my last location jobs was on The Soloist with Jamie Foxx, and it was about a homeless guy who had been to Juilliard who came down with schizophrenia. But we spent a lot of time on Skid Row, and we spent a lot of time around people who were living there and people who were working there. And I was amazed at how many different ways people became homeless that you just don't think about. So I made a film called Who Are They? And it was about that. So subject matters. And then I made a film called They Keep Playing That Song, was basically about my mother and I, but it was about aging and dementia and caregiving and what it is when you're older and you can't do what you used to do and how helpless you feel. And then, how that bears on the people who are professional caregivers and family caregivers. So that, it was short film, but, that's what it speaks to. So stories that talk about needs and things that are happening to everyday people.
That's good to be seen. When is it coming out?
It's out, and it's out there. So any people can I'll send a link to anybody who wants it. So so
Put my name on that list, please. I'd like to see that. Definitely.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you.
You're the CEO of a company now.
Well, that's my company. Yeah, Ampah Vision. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's when I retired in 2012. And that's when I decided I was going to start doing films. And so I named the company Ampah Vision, my last name. Ampah means trust. And so it's various forms of communication. And again, going back to films that speak to certain needs.
Got you. Let's see, where was it? Okay, I understand that you're currently producing independent projects like Curiosity and Make It Happen. Educational videos?
Yeah, Make It Happen was the first thing I did when I retired, and it's about location management. And I use that because I speak at various colleges or film schools like USC or Claremont or LACC, and it talks about what a location person does. A lot of times they think that a location person just goes around taking pictures, and it's a really fun job, but they don't understand the contracts, the permits, finding places for the crew to eat, park, where do the extras get changed, all of those other things that location people do, and coordinating. You see these big stunts through the street, so somebody is coordinating with the police departments and the other Department of Transportation to shut those streets down for all that stuff, and that's the location department.
Yeah, Key, I don't mean to put it in you, but you're gonna write a book?
I thought about it, but I got too many films lined up that I want to. Yeah.
When I hope that you get a chance to see this show and the one that we did today. In that someone talked about a lady who's been around a long time. Her husband is Billings, and
Earl Billings.
She's writing a book.
Okay.
And we brought that up and I said I want to write a book, but I've just been putting it off.
Yeah,
and it's about prostate cancers, for African American men. I'm a double prostate cancer survivor myself.
Well, I am too as well. My last treatment was in 2013, so I've been cancer free for going on 11 years. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, same to you, brother.
Don't see too many of us.
Hey,
didn't know that. Yeah.
There you go.
What's so special about a filmmaker that you enjoy?
I'm at the point that's the least fun for me, and that's where you got to raise the money and do all of that stuff. The actual making the film and investigating and researching, and then the story starts to grow. And it depends on if it's a documentary or a narrative. On the documentaries, I've just gotten involved with it. The group Bad West?
Oh, yes. You're be a guest with us in a couple of weeks.
And they've just taken me to a whole different level on filmmaking because of the documentaries. And that's such a documentary filmmakers are so dedicated in what they do. So I did a film called A Tale of Two Inner Cities, part one I mentioned about St. Paul. And I've got a part two that's going to be about the Inner City Cultural Center, which was the first job I had. That's where the first job I had was stage managing a play for Ted Lange with Glenn Turman. Was Hamlet, and Glenn Turman starred in it.
Yes.
But what that organization did for so many in this industry. And so that's in the works now. And then I've got a couple of narratives, which I really like because you can really just tell a story in it. So there's different parameters on either type of film, but just the making of the film is and I love talking film talk. So, I'm talking to the editor about this or talking to DP about that. That's just what we do.
Right. Wow. Because we're going to bring Bad West in about a couple of weeks. And one of the things we always want to talk about, I used to go to a lot of film festivals, and they'd always ask me to judge docs.
Yeah.
And people would come in there and I got my film. I said, that's my doc. No, that's a film, sir. That is not a documentary. They never could get it.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, Bad West is going to have in May where they show the docs at AFI. And last year was just phenomenal. They showed a couple of, well, all of the docs that they showed were great, and they're having their annual doc presentation in May, which is going to be great.
So, what are your thoughts about technology just moving around? I mean, things like AI.
Well, the thing about it is it's going to be used. If people can find a faster, cheaper way to do things, they're going to do it. And what's evident with the actor strike and with the writer strike, they are going to be the ones most affected by it. And I should say location people are going to be affected by it too. If you've ever seen the show Mandalorian, I don't know if you've seen that, but that show's all done on stage, because they can generate the locations and the camera in the electronic stage so that, you don't have to go out. Now, somebody will have to shoot plates for the locations,
right.
But it's going to affect every aspect. And when we talk about writers, you can get on that AI and give it an idea and it'll come back with a story for you. And you can keep tweaking it. Or they can get an image. You can right now, I saw something online where you send in a picture. If you get this app, you send in a picture and they'll take that picture now, animate it, and put your lips talking to that, singing a song. And that's just everyday people kind of thing. So it's not going away for sure. And so, I guess the whole deal is you better get with it. And, every generation's had to deal with that.
Yeah. You messing with my money now. Don't be messing with my money.
There you go. There you go.
Now, what do you like to do better, director or producer or both?
Depends on the project. Depends on the project. Being the director and the producer, then you have a lot of control. And then but it depends on the project and who you're working with. But
right.
Yeah.
Kokayi, difficulty in getting work. Can you tell us about that?
Well, you get your work. In this business, you really get work by your reputation. And that's what I believe is that if you're out there, you do whatever job it is, especially if you're starting and you're starting as a PA, even though you want to be a director, be the best PA there ever was. And then people will look at you and look at your work ethic and ask you, then what do you want to do and help you, give you a boost up. But if your quality of your work is good and you're a good, decent person, that always helps. That always helps. And it's a hustle. This isn't this business. We're circus people. You work a show, you might be on it. Depending upon your job, you might be on it only 2 weeks a week. If you're an actor, you may be on it 6-9 months, like I was as a location person. But at a certain point, you're unemployed. So the one thing you learn to, which I didn't do as well, to save your money. That's the key.
Save that money. Put it away.
You never know. You never know when a strike may happen. Like a lot of people were hurt on these last strikes because of things going wrong. And so it's your quality of work and your work ethic is going to help you just like in anything else.
Yeah. Who are some of the people you like to work with? Special people you've known for a long time, you like to work with them?
Well, I loved working with John Singleton because he was such an energetic and so positive about his projects. So that was great. I actually liked working with Ron Shelton, and I did White Men Can't Jump in another film with him called, it was about Ty Cobb. And then, I did the 7 Pictures with Eastwood. And, though our politics were not the same, his filmmaking style was great. And I took a lot from that. And, but they're all different. I mean, I worked with Spielberg a couple of times but they all had a different style. There's some that I won't mention that I didn't enjoy, but those, and there's still a list more of others that I enjoy working with. Yeah. And Robert Townsend was good, 5 Heartbeats and Baps. I worked with him on Baps as well. Yeah.
One more question. What did I leave out?
Well, the only thing that I would say is that, like I said, I'm working on A Tale of Two Inner Cities 2 and a couple of the narratives, and just trying to get myself into that. You kind of get yourself back into where I'm going to dive in because you know what's ahead of you, and then got to beat the bushes for some money, and that's it, and that's the life we live.
Good reason. Thanks you for being here today, and best wishes for you as you move in this new direction, and we keep on keeping on. That's all we got to say.
Oh, and the Poinsettia Project about Poinsettia Park.
Oh, yes, the Poinsettia, yes.
Yeah. That was one that we released. Was a group of us who frequented Poinsettia Park, which was Black Hollywood's main place during the 70s, 80s. And I know you've had Rick Nelson on about that at other episodes, but we got that out this year on the 4th of January. And I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of that as well. I was a producer writer on that. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kokayi Ampah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Take care, Survivor.
The same. Yeah, I'm gonna talk. I'll call you on the phone and talk about that. I didn't. Oh, you don't see too many of them.
There you go.
A lot in
yes,
common.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Branford Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Lose Life, The Way to Lose Weight, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's actor training facility with Actors Space. Much thanks to our guest today, our 400th episode. Dancer, producer Pamela Najera, actress Kelley Dorney, and producer-director Kokayi Ampah. The Actor's Choice is a presentation of B&B Productions. Rudolph Brewington is the president, and Sidney Chandler is our executive producer. Special thanks to our ever-growing audience. I'm Ron Brewington. Be well. We will see you next time. 400. Thank you.